Good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. I'm trying really hard to stop laughing. I looked at myself on the screen and I realized that I had two pair of glasses on my head and a pair of glasses on my eyes. Hopefully that's not a precursor of what the weekend's going to be like, because we have a lot of fun planned this weekend here at our house. So I have a whole tray of goodness in front of me, and we're going to have some fun creating backgrounds with unusual items. One of the things that I love to do here in the studio is to just play for the sake of playing, doing purposeless crafting. A lot of times we're on a mission when we're creating, when we're rubber stamping. We have a specific card in mind, a specific scrapbook layout in mind, a specific decor thing that we're doing, or whatever it is. We have a mission. We have something in mind, something that we want to create. But sometimes it's fun just to get into your craft supplies and have some time to do the what if. What would this look like? What would happen if this? To get, your box of scraps and your dies, and what would this look like in this color? What would this stamp look like stamped on this paper? What would this paper look like if it was embossed? All of those kinds of things, those kind of what if things. So I've got a bunch of samples that I'll show you at the end. We'll go through them, tying them back to the fun stuff that we're going to be using. So you got to stick around. So here you can see lots of things that are easily found in your kitchen sink, in your bathroom. Some of you may have a cleaning tub that you use or whatever. Some old school kind of sponges from cleaning the bottoms of deep glasses or bottles and things like that. Again, this is another type of cleanser, but it's got a little scrubby pad at the bottom. Another type of bottle brush. This one's got stiff bristles on it. Just a fun sponge that came off of a handle. It's got a neat little kind of crosshatch pattern on it. This was from, doing paint and cleaning paint edges. Got kind of a nice soft fuzzy edge to it. This is a bag that some tangerines came out of. I thought, ooh, this will be fun. Let's do something with that. Again, just another type of kind of cleanser. It's got fun little strings on it. And if you don't have some things like this at your house, make a trip to the dollar store. Have some fun. Another type of cleanser. This one, it's got kind of a spiral twist and some little pokes. This one is just a similar sponge with the whatever. Just a regular cellulose sponge. We've got bubble wrap. This is a liner that you would put in your drawer, so a piece of shelf liner. This is kind of like a Scotch-Brite scrubby pad. It's kind of a little rough. This is a plastic piece that you would use for doing different types of like needlework or different types of crafts. So it's kind of a grid piece that you see here. Just some other types of interesting sponges. This was kind of for your face, kind of a little exfoliating, but it's got some cool nubbies and things on it. Sandpaper, you name it. Lots of fun stuff that we can be playing with. So I just have a whole bunch of quarter sheets of white cardstock because we're going to just see what these different things look like on your paper. So this would be your one kind of investment in your day of creativity, is just some quarter sheets of paper. You could obviously use color sheets as well. They don't have to be full color quarter sheets. When I'm playing though, I do like to kind of gravitate towards quarter sheets, and more particularly quarter sheets of white. It just makes it easier for me to turn those play pieces into a finished piece. I have just an assortment of inks. I pulled some that might have a little bit more Christmas tones and kind of go with some of the new Christmas papers coming so that we have those to work with. So ink pads would be one way to ink them up. Another option that you have for inking them up is your blending brushes. Yet another way you have is you have your spritzer. And then yet another way that you could add ink to some of these would be with a brayer. I did not bring the brayer out, but you could also do ink with the brayer. So let's start first with our little grid pad here, okay? And in this case, let's just show you first, we're gonna just spritz it. We're gonna spritz it and just use it as a template. And when I lift it up, you can see that I have a really cool image. And actually, Stampin' Up! Has used this kind of grid as a stamp several times. So this kind of grid geometrical look is pretty popular. So that's one way of doing that. I'm gonna bring this back in because I had a little bit of red. I'm just gonna go ahead and take my ink pad, and this is plastic, so it'll wash off very easily. And I'm just gonna tap the ink pad to it. We'll take our cardstock, and this one I'll do straight down. And I'm just gonna give it a good rub. And then you're gonna end up, in this case, because I pressed a little harder and I didn't spritz through it, I actually pulled out the grid that you can't really see real well, but there is grid lines. So I was able to pull out those grid lines by pulling that and working with that. So let's grab another fun one. So in this case, this is a little silicone, which means it's gonna wash really easily. And I'm just randomly grabbing colors. So in this case, you can pounce onto your paper if you wanted to. If I take this, I can also brush. So by pulling it across, you're gonna get a totally different look. But look, you're starting to kind of get some fun backgrounds. Again, just playing around with your different sponges like that. For this one here, again, that same concept. Let's do pecan. Okay, we're gonna be contrary this morning. There we go. Need my Wheaties. So kind of really, really soft speckles. So that was pecan. Let's take another corner of it and we'll lay down some red. We're gonna do a little bit more red. Get that, I'm kind of going for some fall colors here. So you've got a little bit of red coming in. Here you've got the pecan, and see, I kept that corner clean. We'll just go up in this corner, and we're just gonna kind of press those dots in. I can go over it a second time to get it a little darker and more dense if I want, but you're just gonna end up with that kind of really, really nice. Look at that. Look at just the fun little dots. Kind of could be a great snowstorm. Do it in white on some darker. Oh, I'll leave that open. And yes, I've got ink coming on here, and we'll be able to wipe that up and wash that off easily. This is one of my favorites. This is just bubble wrap. And you're just gonna kind of scrunch it up, tap it on your ink, and here I'm just tapping it off a couple of different times. So I'm getting the different shading look, going off the edges. And that's something else a lot of times when I am working and creating like this, is I will very specifically go all the way to the end of the paper because I don't know what my finished size necessarily will be from that. When I die cut from it, when I layer it onto a card front or something, I a lot of times will try to take that look all the way to the edge as I'm creating those fun backgrounds. So a lot of fun here with your bubble wrap. It almost looks a little bit like beehives, but definitely can give you a fun festive look. And you've got bubble wrap in different sizes. This is kind of what I call your standard size, but bubble wrap also has teeny tiny little poppers and air pockets, and then there's also larger ones. So depending on your bubble wrap, you're gonna get some. And I just rinse this and keep reusing it. All this stuff here, I just take to the little sink and we just reuse it. Have some fun with it that way. This is that silicone mat. And I'm just gonna press the ink to it. This case, because I want a larger surface, I'm gonna lay this card down and we're gonna press into it, lift it up. I'm gonna have so much fun. And I usually have a box of backgrounds like that, as well as a box of, I'm gonna keep this open now that I have it, and I can see all the names in front of me. Let me turn this around so I can see all the names of what I'm working with. And in this case, because I'm creating, I'm not worried about the backside, but yes, we could kind of come in here and give ourselves a little bit of a cleanup, use a wet rag. But at this point, I'm not too worried about the backside of it. And I'm not, like I said, I'm not going to stress over it. So with your bottle brush, again, we're going to just tap. And this doesn't hurt the ink pads at all. And you can just pull across. This is a great way to get kind of a whole nother look. We can come back across but it's just gonna kind of give you more of a swished look. Again, I'm already thinking, ooh, snowstorm swirl, something fun behind a snow globe. You're looking for that little extra sometimes behind an image in a snow globe, and we've got a great snow globe set coming, but look how fun. And again, that's just taking your bottle brush and brushing it across. I had another fun bottle brush here. Where did it go? It's this one. So this one's got little swirlies on it. So I'm just gonna roll it in the ink pad to kind of get it all covered up. Make sure I get the ink really good on it. And then if you take and start to roll it across your paper, look. So having just some fun that way. Okay, so that's our little swirly one. This is the one that was really soft. And again, we can do more than one color on these papers. I was doing some of those a little monochromatic, but we can take and let's do this. And we're gonna just kind of use this to pounce across the bottom. Okay, and now let's grab a different sponge that we might have, just to show you, you can mix and match your different ones. So here you can see where you've got the blue at the top and then the brown at the bottom, and this is going to be perfect for any one of our scene builder stamps. You've got your mountains, we've got some wheat coming up, do a little bit of sky going on, so you can have some fun. If you're looking for, you know, like especially creating a look for your different bottoms of your scrapbook pages, you want it to look like a field of wheat or corn. You can actually even take this same concept and, because sometimes your stamps just aren't big enough. And so let's put this one aside. Let's bring this fun sponge back in. And this actually has more texture. Can you use this? Absolutely. But this just has a little bit more texture. But let's just go ahead and use this up over the edges. Get a little darker right at the fold. But now you're going to have kind of your mountainous look. We can turn it around. So now we've got our mountains, and you can do your scenery, so you can use that. And again, just a different look. Let's use this on the back of this piece of paper, and let's just show you the difference. First off, you want to try to get that extra little ink out, okay? So this is real soft. So if you want a soft look, then our blending brushes are great. But this is just kind of a little bit more texture to the look. You know, a lot of times mountains have some trees on them or some rocks or something. So blending brushes are great, but it's going to be more of a smooth finish. When you want something with a little bit more character, a little bit more sass, then reaching for different sponges and things that you have in your collection can be fun and can be a great way to go. These bottle brushes with all their little fingertips, you're just going to pounce that color on. We're going to do that a few times with that. I'm going to flip it totally over, and I'm going to add in some red. Okay, I have one that's the exact same thing, so instead of washing that in between, I just have a whole nother one here. And I just have a little bucket here in the studio that I have all of these fun, I call them my distressing bucket. But this one I'll be able to do something Christmassy with. This is going to be fun to work with. Okay, so again, you just want to grab your different items that you have around and just play with them and see what they're going to look like. You know, ink them up and just kind of start going to town in all the different ways. Some of them, like this one, would be great for Halloween. If we did this in black on white, you're going to get kind of a really cool webby, let me let it slow down, webby look. Can you see that? How fun is that, right? Really, really cool. So let's match some of these designs up with finished ideas to really, really inspire you. And I'm going to just bring in a piece of paper to kind of clean my mess up here for a second. So this one, remember that piece right here? This is the Thoughtful Journey Memories and More card. This piece here that we used, this is what's on this one in Mossy Meadow. And we just, because what's fun when you're playing, I'm playing with Stampin' Up! Inks. So that means I know that these fun little backgrounds that I'm creating are going to work because I have Stampin' Up! Cardstock, I have Stampin' Up! Accessories like the Memories and More card, Stampin' Up! Designer paper. Of course, I have Stampin' Up! Ink because that's what I used on the back. So I know that it's going to be able to tie that all together. So that's this fun one. This one here, this is the one that we just did with the bottle brushes. You just saw that. We used that just a few minutes ago to create this background. This case, it was just 2 colors, Melon Mambo and Azure Afternoon, and just some fun greetings on that. So just a real fun birthday card, okay? So that's that one. Let's keep moving here. This one is a combination of 2. You probably immediately recognize the bubble wrap right away. And then the one that had the spots that we did on the background here. So you have your bubble wrap and your spots. It's 1 card. I did the top half with the spots and the bubble wrap on the bottom. Again, another Memory and More fixture, a piece of ephemera, pulled in our pretty pink ribbon, a little bit of our Petunia Pop glimmer paper, and we've got just a really fun pink on pink card. So that's a fun idea for you. This one here, let me see if I can find the one that coordinates with it. So we did this one here by just kind of slapping it with this, okay? And that's where I got the background for this Christmas card. Just something real different, kind of breaking up that white but not putting designer paper on it because I wanted the images that are on this card to pop. So again, just kind of creating a distressed look little background, or just kind of just browns on the back, just creating a background. Okay, so that's this one. Then for our fun shaker card, using some of the new holiday ephemera coming. This one is 2 colors, Azure Afternoon and Mossy Meadow. What a fun blue and green combination for the holidays. And I took my inspiration right from all of the ephemera. And this is bubble wrap again. Okay, so having some fun, but you're gonna love the holiday ephemera, guys. This is great. And then remember on the one project, now this one's a different 2-tone, okay? But here, on one of the projects, we dragged the ink across. So in this case, I dragged the ink across and then just did real soft pouncing here, stamped our mountains. So in this case, I actually stamped mountains instead of using them. And I could do the same thing here. I could stamp some mountains, and then I could use a stamp or a die cut for some wheat or some taller flowers in the foreground for something like that. But here I have a beautiful, nice, simple card that's just all ink and a greeting. So again, lots and lots of fun. And then remember, we had these 2 versions right here using the plastic grid, using this right here. Okay, one we spritzed through, one we took the ink to, laid the card on top to pull out the lines of the grid. And think, you know, like think Ada cloth has a great pattern in it. I'm trying to think of other things around the house that have, you know, different patterns on it. You're going to really be looking at things going, oh my gosh, what would happen if I took that little, I saved this little bag and inked it up and tapped it, or inked it up and just kind of pressed it. You know, what kind of cool look am I going to get with those, you know, different pieces? So even this gives us a very different look, and all I've done is played with my little bag from here. You're going to be washing the dishes and you're going to go, wait a minute, this should be in my craft room. And then here is that grid. We used that on the back for this birthday card. And this again features some of the ephemera from the annual catalog right now that is currently available. And in this case, I used black to tie in the black from, you know, like the bird is stamped or outlined in black, happy birthday's in black, ahoy's in black. We've got stars in black as well. So don't be afraid to just take an afternoon, a morning, an hour, gather up some, you know, cleaning supplies from under your bathroom sink, under your kitchen sink, make a run to the dollar store. Actually, that's kind of what I'm thinking I need to do, because I want to kind of find a few other ones And then just get yourself a little bucket and put them all in the bucket. And when you're ready and you have a few extra minutes, then go ahead and play around and create a stash of backgrounds that you're going to have available. And trust me, once you have these backgrounds, you're going to be inspired. You're going to be like, oh, I bet this would look good with this, or this would be fun with that. And just make a whole bunch of them, keep them in a little box on your crafting table, and then you're going to craft away and have some great ideas. So, of course, there's other things that are lots of videos out on the marketplace for. You can use marbles and ink refills. You can use shaving cream to create some fun backgrounds. There's different ways to use alcohol reinkers and metallic ink to do marbling. But I just wanted to show you right now just having some fun with some different common household things, packing supplies, and things like that. So if you're inspired to create with something really unusual from your kitchen, from your bathroom, from your cleaning bucket, from the tool shed, I would love to see it. Go ahead and just share in the comments below. Let us know what it is that you used. But it is fun sometimes, guys, just to play for the sake of, oh my gosh, what would happen if? Instead of always coming in, grabbing your supplies because you need a birthday card, an anniversary card. It's a very, very important part of our crafting, but so is just letting our brain wander. I think a lot of times we don't think we're very creative, so we don't give ourselves permission to play. So I'm giving you permission to play, have some fun this weekend, have some fun in the coming days, weeks, and months with playing. Thanks, guys. Happy weekend.